Welcome to EP Pathashala. I am Devika Madalli, Professor, Documentation Research and Training Center, Indian Statistical Institute. Today I would like to talk about information extraction, which is one of the important activities in knowledge discovery. In the past few years, there is a rapid escalation of content in the format of text on internet, and because of this rapid escalation and huge populating of documents every day, there is a big challenge about knowledge discovery. So, information extraction is one technique used towards helping in knowledge discovery. Major content on internet, like digital content, we know is in unstructured format. If it is a structured format and description is there for documents, it is much easier to retrieve. But how do we address the problem of retrieving unstructured document, which in fact is the major part of web collection? So, this is where information extraction comes into the picture. Information extraction, or it is also called as IE, it involves identifying entities, relationships between entities, and also attributes that describe these entities, and extracting these and storing them and using this in turn for knowledge discovery. So, in this module we will be examining what is information extraction and the process of doing this. Let us look at the origin of information extraction, state of the art. IE, or information extraction, has its inception in late 1980s. In fact, ATrans, a system called ATrans, was one of the first attempts to use IE for extracting information from messages. The domain was finance, so they used ATrans in financial domain, and it was used regarding transfer of funds between banks. And this was based then upon simple NLP techniques to parse statements and find out the entities or concepts in a statement and their relationship. Jasper is an IE system for extracting information also, and this was used in the domain of corporate related issues. Again, in Jasper there was a little bit more mature NLP techniques used. Majority of the information extracting systems during this era were actually monolingual, and the major drawback was that they were not flexible to being adapted to new scenario. So, after these initial efforts, then other efforts were made in developing general purpose IE systems and frameworks. As we saw, the ATrans and the Jasper were in particular domains, mostly financial and corporate domains, and after that experience, efforts were made in developing general purpose information extracting systems, and depending and basing on the experience that for frameworks were also developed. These frameworks were with modular capability, and they had easier adaptability to nascent domains and languages. Some of the IE systems of this type are the fastest system that is developed at SRI International, and this was able to process English as well as Japanese languages, and the SPPC system that can process German as well. So, slowly, as we can see, IE systems started maturing, and they started being able to process different language content also. After these, IE systems were based on integration of shallow as well as deep linguistic analysis to achieve better results. And one of the systems that can be mentioned in this context is LASSI2, which uses finite state recognizers for detecting lexical patterns related to a particular domain. So, that is how IE systems evolved over time and are being used quite widely in knowledge discovery process. So, let us look now at the architecture of IE systems. Generic architecture of information extraction system is as shown in a diagrammatic view. As we can see, the origin is of course input mostly in the format of text from internet, and there are various steps in between till we arrive at extracted facts. And at various stages, as we can see in this illustration, there is a support from lexical sources to resolve the meaning of entities, and there is also support from ontologies to drive semantics, and then based upon all these the layer of inferencing is included. So, there could also be a support from pattern recognition. So, all these technologies and research outputs rather from pattern recognition, lexical development, semantic ontologies are together used in today's IE systems as shown over here. On top of all this is inferencing rules, and these inferencing rules can be incorporated as per need of that domain, and when this is executed, we get extracted facts. So, let us look step by step at how these steps in the architecture are executed or what they are meant to do. Information extraction architecture. The first step is metadata analysis. So, this step deals with extraction of metadata components of a document. So, what does it mean? So, suppose a document is present and there is some kind of metadata associated with that document. So, in the state of analysis, metadata analysis, these metadata components are first extracted. So, the next step is called tokenization. In this step, text is broken into words or units as is usually done in the process of tokenization, and these little units where we break down the text is known as tokens. These tokens are classified into groups according to their characteristics or attributes. So, tokenization is a very general and often used technique in NLP. So, we for identifying unit, and unit is normally a word in a textual context when we are talking about a document collection as we talk about web collection. So, we proceed to the next stage of analysis, and the next stage is called as morphological analysis. So, at this stage morphological information is extracted from tokens which are similar to parts of speech disambiguation. So, we know that in a sentence there is a morphological structure like having a subject and a predicate and having verbs, adjectives, adverbs, etc. So, whenever there is a lot of research and lot of work done about how we can analyze sentences morphologically, and these like I have already referred before in the systems evolved in for IE at different stages, shallow parsing was done or a deep parsing was done, and also morphological analysis was done. So, sentence or utterance boundary detection is also done. In this step, the text is actually segmented into a sequence of sentence having lexical contents together with the features that they are associated with. So, in this step normally segmentation is done and some kind of a lexical support is taken, and the features are used for detection of sentence or each sentence or how an utterance can occur. So, we can see that very systematically we are analyzing the web document into these different steps. First of all, if metadata is available, we are taking the help of metadata, then we are going for tokenization, then we are doing morphological analysis to recognize the parts of speech, and then we are proceeding to find out the sentence boundaries, and all these are mostly automated processes. In the next step in the architecture, we look at named entity extraction. Named entities like names of person, organization, locations, expression of times, numerical and currency expressions, etc. are detected irrespective of domains. So, there is again a huge amount of research focus on named entities. So what are named entities? Like I already mentioned, it could be the name of persons or organization or space or location, as such as it could be countries, continents, even it could be locations such as entities such as banks or airports or such things. Wherever name is associated with that entity, we call it as named entities. Then expressions as even in times, it could be also a numerical, like already said, it could be currency, we can say dollars or euro money or something like this. So whenever that is occurring, we know that it represents currency, dollar or euro. We would not possibly mix it up with something that stands for time. So that is what named entity stands for, something very concrete and that can be extracted. So these also can be extracted irrespective of domains, because they practically are nouns, or in many cases they are proper nouns, and they can be extracted from the different domains, and it does not matter that we only work in domain specific areas. The next step is phrase recognition. This is a bit of a challenge, because phrase can be multi-worded. It could be having nested kind of a grammatic expressions. So how we could deal with this is the question. Like the very popular example is reinforced cement concrete bridges. So we try to recognize what in this noun phrase, reinforced cement concrete bridges. Then is the question arises, reinforced is a term, it's an adjective in this case, and it qualifies which noun. Okay, is it standing for the cement or is it standing for the bridge? So how to make these associations, and such very interesting problems are there in phrase recognition. So this step involves phrase recognition. Several phrases like noun phrase or verb groups or prepositional phrases or acronyms and abbreviations are to be identified at this stage. Like already mentioned, most of these steps we are trying to do in an automated fashion with least or no human intervention. So these all have to be coded, and the method for recognition of phrases has to also be encoded and used on the fly on the content. So this is a challenge, but the systems so far have which are mostly of course NLP based, have shown a good amount of success in phrase recognition, and even longer phrases like the example given, like reinforced cement concrete bridges is now a shorter phrase, but even like parsers can go up to paragraph or paragraphs together and try to recognize the different parts of a statement, the different phrases in a statement or a sentence, like noun phrase or prepositional phrase or verb groups and other things. So this step involves in such an activity of phrase recognition. The next step in information extraction is syntactic analysis. Here all the possible interpretations of the sentences are computed, which are obtained from all the above mentioned steps, and these are based upon the even the lexical sequence of the text or the tokens. So if you can recall, we did right after the metadata analysis stage, we did the tokenization, and as explained already, we break up multiple words or short statements or sentences into tokens. And here, after doing all the phrase recognition and all such activities which we have discussed so far, we do syntactic analysis. So how does this matter? We have already done parts of speech recognition, and we have done the acronyms, abbreviation recognition, and we have tokenized. So how these interpretations of sentences can be computed is based upon all the previous steps of what has been recognized and what has been sort of tagged. So we use, like in the architecture, in the diagrammatic representation that has been shown, we have already seen that there is some kind of lexical support also taken for the system, and here we try to arrive at some kind of interpretations of sentences, but at the syntactic level. We are not talking about the semantic level here. So, there are different types of information extraction. It could be named entity recognition, it can be co-reference resolution, it could be extraction of relation, which is called relation extraction, or it could be event extraction. So, as I explained already, what is named entity? It is the names of persons or places or other entities like dates, time based entities or space based entities, and these of course occur very often in any body of text or content. And then there are other different types that IE attempts, like I mentioned. This could be just extraction of relations and the conceptual concepts along with that relation, which we refer to as conceptual relations, or it could be extraction of events. So, let us have a look at each of these types. We come to named entity recognition. This is also known as entity identification, entity chunking, or entity extraction. So, it is known by different terms. Even while extracting these, we can come across these as keywords which describe the document, as they use as entity recognition, entity identification, chunking, and entity extraction. So, it mainly addresses the issue of identification or detection and classification of text into predefined categories of named entities. For example, name of person, say any person, S.R. Ranganathan. Suppose that is occurring in text, that is a proper noun, and this could be limited text that can be entered and maintained, just like we have author authority files in the library bibliographic databases. Named entities can also be the names of organizations like DRTC or ISI, standing for Indian Statistical Institute, or INFLIBNet. Then the other very popular type of named entities that are extractable are the names of locations. As already mentioned, the location can be also a proper noun, like the name of a town or a city as Bangalore, Delhi, Ahmedabad, so on and so forth. Or it could be geographical entities like countries, continent, or political entity, political divisions of a nation like states, districts, talukas, and such things. So, anything to do with space aspect and it has a particular name which is defined comes under the named entity called location, and it has to be extracted as such. So, if we are looking for, say, one person is looking for census of the Bellary district. So, there the word Bellary is of course the proper noun. It gives a very good clue that it is the name of another space entity called district. Okay. And then there are expressions of time, such as the example shown, April 1962. So, here it refers to a year which is a numerical entity, 1962, but April is non-numerical, it is letters, but it recognizes this as a month, April, belonging to the year 1962. So, it has got both a combination of numerical as well as alphabetic characters. And then as already mentioned, there could be other numerical entities such as currency expressions. Currency expressions could be symbols also, or it could be numerical, or it could be alphabetical, like the example given, the digit 5, or it could have just a word describing that 1000 or million, or like that, or it could have a formalized expression or an abbreviation or rather an acronym used for currency, such as INR or EUR for euro, and so on and so forth. So, all these are covered under named entity recognition. So, we have to bear in mind why we are covering all this is because in the end our aim is knowledge discovery, And like I said, if a person wants to find out the census of a particular place, if a person just comes to the web and find out where is DRTC located, or they want to find out what are the courses run by DRTC. So in all such information queries, we can easily see that named entity plays a very important role and it needs to be recognized. So that is where is the importance of named entity recognition. The second one is co-reference resolution. Co-reference resolution means identifying all expressions that indicate the same entity in a given text. That means we are referencing the same entity. Okay. So an example is given in here. I voted for Modi because he was the most aligned with my values. He said so and so. So what does, when we look closely at this statement, and suppose this statement is on internet, say in social media or something like that, and the IE system is trying to understand the named entity over here in this statement. So the statement starts it with very definite terms. There is no ambiguity here. I voted for Modi. But after this, it says because he was most aligned with my values. Okay. So as you can see, I, my and he are there in this statement, okay, prepositional, and then the proper noun Modi is there. And how we can really associate that Modi is he. And then the statement can go on, he is the most aligned with my values. He said yesterday that he will bring down the interest rate for the housing sector, and so on and so forth. He said this, he did this, we proceed like that. After a while comes the question, even in a human understanding interface, who is the he? But imagine in the case of kind of an automated retrieval, how we associate the proper noun entity Modi with he. So this is called co-reference. Co-reference resolution means we have to identify all such expressions that indicate the same entity. So in the case of natural language processing, this was referred to as anaphora resolution. So we start with a proper noun, there is no ambiguity, but soon we replace the proper noun with some kind of a preposition and we continue. And when there is more than one proper noun, then using he or it to refer to the original entity, after a while it creates an anaphora problem. How to really associate the proper noun with the proper preposition which are an actual combination. So co-reference resolution really addresses this and creates such references where a proper noun is must and should be associated with this preposition in the corpora or the corpus that we are trying to extract. So that is what co-reference resolution deals with. So the next kind of extraction is relation extraction, and this is the method of identification and classification of predefined relations among a given text. So as we can see in the example given, we say that DRTC is actually located in Bangalore. Like I was just explaining, there could be a question from any user on internet, where is DRTC located? So if there is an expression already embedded as shown here in this slide, located in DRTC Bangalore, you can see the kind of a syntax used over here, and what it actually means is that there exists a relation between an organization and this location, and the organization in this example is DRTC and the location in this example is Bangalore. So it is already represented. So this can be extracted from a kind of a text that is there on internet, maybe the DRTC website, and it simply says that DRTC offers course in library and information science at Bangalore. So this is the kind of statement available. So here it was not directly mentioned, as you can see, that DRTC is located in Bangalore. It just says that DRTC offers course in library science at Bangalore. Okay? And this is simply a part of a bigger website, maybe the Indian Statistical website, Indian Statistical Institute website that is hosted from Kolkata actually. But how do we extract an entity? As shown here, we have to extract it as located in bracket DRTC comma Bangalore. So this kind of relationship extraction is done at this stage, where the recognition is done between an entity and its location. So this is just one kind of relation it is seen, but there could be other kinds of relations like a higher level entity belonging to a lower level entity belonging to a higher class. So class and subclass kind of thing, which naturally gives the relation. For example, we can say that ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, at some level, and then under that it is said that there are various locations of ISI in India. So there could be 5 locations like having Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, Tezpur, and somewhere under all this again it comes that Documentation Research and Training Center, or DRTC, of the ISI is located in Bangalore. So it is not directly under the term Indian Statistical Institute, that directly under this it is written DRTC. It is somewhere embedded in that website or document, but we can definitely arrive at a relationship that DRTC belongs to Indian Statistical Institute once such a kind of information is available. So these kind of activities are done in relation extraction. The other very important kind of extraction is event extraction. This is a method of detecting events in a text and deriving comprehensive details and structured relevant information about them. So let us look at what this means. So how do we detect events, and how are events normally occurring in a body of text online, and how can we really recognize details about event and say that definitely this is an event happening and there is some kind of an information associated with the events which can be retrieved, which can be extracted. So let us examine the example given. Ministry of HRD, or Human Resource Development, approved the National Digital Library project, and it has granted 100 crore rupees towards the National Digital Library project. So suppose such a statement is available, how can we interpret this, and how can we extract the facts? From this text, extraction involves recognizing partners, such as in this digital library project, as we know, IIT Kharagpur of the MHRD is participating. There is a money involved, capital involved, it is 100 crore rupees, Indian rupees, and there is a location involved, and that is Kharagpur, India. So just based upon this statement, we can extract that there is an organization and it is doing a kind of a project which has a name, National Digital Library Project, and it has another component which is an investment or a capital, and it has definitely a location associated with it. So around this kind of an event, we can extract so many entities definitely in their own kind of a dimension. So though it is a multidimensional kind of thing, this information can be extracted and can be stored in a structured way. So evaluation of information extraction system, again the measures are the standard IR measures, precision and recall. Precision of course denotes the relevant output provided by the system, which is taken by the user as being precise, that is precision is which is correct divided by correct plus incorrect documents available. Recall is the extent to which the particular system can produce relevant output. So we just recall we define as the correct document retrieved versus the key given. Okay. So we have defined the word correct, incorrect and key as follows here. This is from standard definitions. Correct, the number of correctly filled slots in a system's response. Incorrect, the number of incorrectly filled slots in the system's response, and the key, the total number of slots expected to be filled as compared to the standard set of 5. We come to the applications of IE systems. There are of course various applications of IE system because it is really trying to recognize the different parts in a automatically rather in a given corpus or text. And applications are also various. They can be used for generating services, it can be for end users. So, enterprise applications are such as the ones mentioned here. News tracking, this is the task of automatically tracking a specific type of event from news contents, or customer care, which identifies relevant product categories from details provided by customers. On basis of this personalized service can be offered to customers, or it could be for classified ads and dealing with extraction of information in a kind of a record oriented data. There are various applications like also for personal information management, as shown in the slide. It could be for scientific applications, which majority of the research work on IE discusses in the field of for example in bioinformatics. The scope and need of IE has increased from mere detection of NEs or named entities to recognition and extraction of biological entities such as genes and proteins. So, there are very significant and very broad based applications. There are web oriented applications also, like using IE in citation databases, opinion databases, in structured web searches and comparison shopping. There are various tools and services that are mentioned which use very advanced IE techniques. These are mentioned as part of the module that can be visited. So, as is evident, information extraction is quite a complex process, but it is also very significant for knowledge discovery. It involves recognition of entities, like already mentioned. It could be named entities or different kinds of entities. It involves extraction of relationship between entities and the attributes that describe entities. But since such a very significant and deep level analysis is done both at morphological, at syntactic and at semantic levels, it has got significant applications as already discussed. Maybe it is in different domains like corporate domains, or also in the research domains such as biomedical domains. So, information extraction is working as a complementary technology and really helping in information retrieval.